being able to cook and feed people is a gift within itself. Everything about it is just so great. It's just such a rewarding career. Giving that care that I never received and putting it into something, even if nobody knows about it, that makes it worth all of that I went through. It healed me more than I ever thought it could, cooking and baking. To be able to just make a dish and make it look as beautiful as possible and even taste as good as it looks, that's just what makes it all worth it, I think. I grew up in Denver, Colorado. I have my mom and my dad. I have a stepbrother, and then I have 2 stepsisters. So I'm the only child between my mom and my dad. I had some small kitchen jobs in high school and stuff like that. I've been working since I was about like 15, and kind of just made that decision of like, oh, do I want to go to film school or do I want to go to culinary school? I've always been around my grandma and my great-grandma. Good old Hispanic ladies have all their yummy recipes, and just kind of learn cooking from them. I had left an abusive relationship when I think it was about 2019, right before COVID. We started off great. It was a normal kind of high school, right out of high school relationship. And then maybe about a couple years, about 3-4 years of being in that relationship, it started to get a little sour, and the emotional and mental abuse became so severe as to where I even, at one point, arguing until like 4 or 5 in the morning, then I had to go to work. And then that slowly turned toxic to where I would rather just go to the park and sleep in my car than go home and deal with getting into an argument. So, and from there, I just kind of thought that's also not a good quality of life. I shouldn't have to go to the gym super early in the morning before I have to go to work to avoid an argument. I have also had previous instances of sexual abuse in my family from a small child, from about 2, maybe earlier, till I was about 14 years old. So that kind of put a lot of things going on, just recovering from that, and then being in that abusive relationship also kind of stopped the development of growth from the sexual abuse as a child. So it kind of was just abuse from abuse to abuse, which is so hard to get out of and so hard to kind of navigate on your own. So he would sleep deprive me a lot. He kind of isolated me from my family and my loved ones. It was a night where we were arguing. It was 3 in the morning, and I'm sitting on the couch and just, he's yelling at me. And at one point I just kind of look at him and just say, "Are you gonna hit me now?" And he stopped immediately and was like, "What?" And that stopped the arguing for about a week. And then after that, it became physical. One night I had fainted in the middle of an argument. My body was kind of just done. Just like, you're not gonna deal with this argument anymore. So I fainted, and he was drunk. I didn't know he was drunk, and I immediately told him, "You need to call my parents." And all I remember was hearing my door open, my front door burst open, and I immediately felt my mom's hands on me, and then I heard some scuffling behind my mom. And I'm pretty sure my dad, I think, just tackled him to the ground. And then after that, my mom packed a bag for me for overnight, and I slept on their couch and I never went back. They took me out of that situation.
So our emergency shelter is comprised of advocates and other experts, even mental health supportive nurses, folks that work in behavioral health. But our advocates can respond 24/7, so they'll respond by phone or also working directly in the shelter with victim survivors.
A place like Anna Marie's is a fantastic place to go for any type of help, because for the people who don't have anybody at home helping them, this is that person. This is that safe space as well, to take a breath and just, I'm safe.
Our agency has supported more than 21,000 people since 1979, so there's been a large amount of impact. Our prevention and education team tries to show up in as many places as we can across the community to encourage conversation about relationship abuse and how it shows up in different cultural circles or in just different situations. A few ways that we do that is we're mainly in schools, so we serve youth that are in 6th grade all the way up to 12th grade. So our middle and high school youth are receiving small group services or one-to-one, so like individual services with an advocate. We also, in prevention and education, work with adults or people who are in the workforce or at an organization by kind of going into team conversations about domestic violence. So we're kind of trying to prompt questions or start conversation around what if somebody in your workplace, like while you're getting a cup of coffee or while you're checking in during the day, talks about an instance of relationship abuse or mentions that they have concerns.
I would just say find, a friend, even a close acquaintance in the office that you can kind of see that's a safe space, a safe person to say, hey, I need to talk about something, or I need advice on something.
The most important thing that not only our advocates and people who are in our Anna Marie's community, but also just our entire central Minnesota community and beyond can do in preventing relationship abuse is really trying to remove the stigma from the conversation around relationship abuse, and at the same time create more accessibility to the conversations that people are having.
Knowledge is the best power, and with Anna Marie's website and everything, and it's just so clear on how they are helpful and what they do to help, that it's just, wow, like I can go there, like that's a place to go to help.